Hey everybody, this is going to be a shorter 20-minute plus drive. I'm going to go to YMCA for an actual passenger pickup. So with that, I'm going to engage FSD 12.3. We did a first impressions drive earlier this morning, had some challenging situations, one of which is the YMCA, which we have to go there for a pickup. So we're going to go back there and see how 12.3 handles it. Not because I love torturing FSD, but because we actually need to make a pickup there. So let's test it out. Well, first of all, we have this pretty obstructed view of unprotected left with the obstructed view on the right. I cannot see. You have to creep out to this line here where there is a little creep line. And so we're doing a good job being safe here, which this is the second time, because I had an safety issue here before, that the second time that FSD is doing a good job with creep and for safety. So I'm tentatively hopeful that yields for safety and being cautious and being cautious and getting a good view before making a decision are mostly resolved with 12.3. At least that's my initial take. I noticed we didn't. There wasn't really any cars in front of us. There was that big garbage truck, which probably kept us out of the roots. But I was thinking I didn't really notice them that much. We'll have to test those roots on the right side of the road when there's no parked cars and no obstacles, because it's a minor-ish issue, but FSD likes to hug the right side, which is a good behavior in general, but not good for those roots, especially when you take them at higher speeds, like 30-40 miles an hour. They tend to be pretty bumpy and harder on your tires. Good left, plenty of space away from the median, and nice acceleration. This is drive 2. We did a series of drives this morning, so but yeah, this will be video number 2, let's put it that way, for today, testing FSD 12.3. So far so good. As I mentioned, the other ones, I'm looking for the safety critical stuff to be resolved. It seems like disengagements of different types are not resolved, but I'm looking for that good safe behavior at the stops, yielding properly, which seem better. I'm looking for good fast reaction to yellow lights, which does seem better. The bonus is supposedly no red and red has been fixed, and that leaves some of my other complaints from the previous version, which is non-ideal lane choice. I had lane changes, sometimes just being dumb and getting in the wrong lane altogether for zero reason, which could lead to some sort of a safety issue, which I've caught on camera twice this morning and before. And then of course this Y, which you're probably going to be bored hearing me talk about this, but I'm going to explain it just because we're making another video, and in case you didn't watch the other videos of this. But previous FSD versions and 12.3 keep having trouble with this. Basically, we have to take this really sharp left up this steep hill, and what has happened so far is 100% of the time FSD does not want to go up the hill and follow the route. Instead, it makes a U-turn, which that's cool that FSD can do U-turns now, but it's not the appropriate spot to do a U-turn. It needs to follow the route. So far, I think by my count, let's see, 3 plus 2. Yeah, I think we're up to 5 U-turns with 100% repro with FSD 12.2.1 and FSD 12.3 not wanting to take this. So if there's not traffic, I will let it make a mistake once to show you, to show you the behavior in this video, even though I've captured it in other videos before, just so you won't be let down. But that's all I'm willing to do this time is one mistake. So it tends to make a mistake there, and then also makes a mistake like either pulling over, not doing anything, or trying to go right on this one way. So kind of like a mistake and then another mistake. Not a huge deal. If you're a human, you would just disengage when you see it doing the wrong thing and just take over. But yeah, it is what it is. I'm sure Tesla will fix it soon with future FSD versions, but this one is looking fairly promising as far as overall better than V11, you know. Okay, well, so that kind of not being courteous by letting this person in. We're going fast enough that there'll be a gap, but if I saw that car, there was a gap, he had his turn signal on, I would have let him in. I didn't get to see on the visualization what it thought, but I didn't feel the car really even hesitate. It kind of just continued along. Obviously, he didn't turn into our lane, so it wasn't an issue, but as a human, if I saw that, I would have been courteous to let him in, because there's really no reason not to. Okay, so this is this right. You can go right on this on red. There's no problem. There's a little dedicated merge lane along California. We are hanging out here. We don't need to. There is kind of some traffic in the lane we'll need to merge over, and there is a pedestrian slowly making their way over to us. FSD visualizes them just fine, and he's going to continue. And FSD is just sitting here. He gives me the wave, which I like. It's not being spastic or anything. So yeah, a little hesitant unnecessarily there. Could have gone, but we held up traffic just a little bit. So we did a merge. Either one's fine here, either lane. FSD just wants to take the lane that is a little more free, which in this case is fine. Once again, the auto speed control seems pretty good to my liking. We've got plenty of gap between us and other cars. We're keeping up with the traffic. Nothing too harsh with the speed and braking. So yeah, overall, I'm good in my situations with the auto speed. Now I can see that. Either on the freeway, which it does the percent offset today, even with this setting, or in some other situations, it'd be very frustrating not to be able to override with the steering wheel, the settings or the offset. Now, also I forgot to mention in the other video, one of the things is that the steering wheel nags are, the scroll wheels work now to get rid of the nags. So that was something that was temporarily broken. Okay, so we're coming up on our turn, and I'm going to expand the visualization wide for the upcoming, because my theory that I keep seeing the evidence of is that even when on the route with the GPS, it's kind of FSD doesn't seem to be following the route exactly. Which is fine in some situations, but it seems to be making decisions based on something else. and it's causing issues here. Like if it would just follow the map, it would be fine, but clearly it it thinks it can't go up that road, or it actually wants to go up this road. So I'm not sure why. Maybe there's a conflict between what FSD wants to do and what the maps are. But if there's not traffic, we'll let FSD make this U-turn, but we shall see what the tentacle does. It makes this very weird kind of squishy tentacle. So I'm taking that to mean that it's not sure what the path is. Okay, so the logic to go has been pretty good so far. Okay, so there is someone behind us making the turn as well. So when this does the wrong thing, I am going to disengage. Okay, so you see the route. There's I'm gonna just go. Sorry, guy. Actually, no. I didn't disengage because okay, now we're pulling over. Because there was nobody coming, and we got the same behavior. I'm not sure, even with the biker there, we seem to be doing the wrong thing. So, anyways, there's cars coming. I'm gonna disengage and go back around. This is the same thing that's been happening consistently. Same behavior. Error number 1 there, and error number 2 is not being able to recover. But I am going to re-engage and let it make a U-turn, which in this particular situation is the right behavior. There's a wide enough space. It's not a dedicated U-turn, but there's plenty of space. So we're going to take attempt number 2, or attempt number 6 or whatever, depending if you count the other videos. We're going to try it again. FSD is going to fail again, but at least we'll have another test data for Tesla, and we'll report it this time, just like we did last time. So I think we'll watch that tentacle. We'll see it just be very fuzzy, very unsure. Okay, so there's a gap. FSD should be able to take it. Tentacle is very fuzzy and making the U-turn. Okay, so I disengaged. I'll report that. Failure to take diagonal left to follow the route once again. So more training data for Tesla, and we'll continue the route. So yeah, I will, I'm not going to unnecessarily test that, but I will, if I have to take this route, I'm going to count that as a disengagement, and I will continue to test it every new FSD version to see if they fix it or not. But yeah. Okay. Oh, so this time we took a different route where I think this is fine because this isn't a one-way. But anyways, we're at our destination. Okay, guys, so we're back. I was just leaving it where it was just to show you. So I've caught this on video a couple times, not being able to get it out of the parking lot. This is more of a route and maps issue. It's still an issue, but it seems like the issue always is here is that the destination is here. We don't think we're at the destination. So it continues to try to make its way out. Now it is an issue because it can't actually wind its way successfully through the parking lot and at least even go back on the route that it says. But anyways, it is, we have an auto park. So interesting you saw that. It seems like it timed out and like thought we're at our destination and wants to continue to the next legs, which is kind of what I wanted. It does seem like there's some map issue where this is not there, which kind of makes sense, maybe why we didn't take that before. But the route wants to loop around, so we are going to let it do that, and see if it makes it this time around. So the route is correct. We got our blue steering wheel. I mean, correct, you could just take a left here, but it wants to loop around. So last time we did this in the morning, it got stuck here and did not want to continue. So we'll see if it gets stuck in the same spot. So far, it seems like it's making it around the corner. So yeah, that's fine with that car's backing in. FSD was assertive about taking the gap, which is fine. And it's not 100% ideal, but it's more of a maps issue. But it's winding its way through the parking lot and going to get its way out of here. So, I mean, overall versus the previous version, this behavior actually is an improvement, because before it couldn't get out, it would take the wrong turns. But yeah, little things to improve. You know, obviously, if you're taking a robotaxi, you don't want to take the, you know, the scenic tour through the parking lot for no reason. And we're coming down the this steep one-way exit, the same one that FSD kind of wanted to go up previously. I never quite let it get to this point where the do not enter wrong way, but certainly it's not following the map. Okay, so here we're at a pretty hard angle. I have to strain back to look, but FSD should have a really good angle here with the camera. And yeah, confidently sees that there's a car, but it's not in our lane, and exits. Yeah, like that behavior. Got this giant lane we're in, which is interesting. Seem to be in the center of it. We'll see if it gets any smaller. It does seem to be getting a lot smaller, especially with the cones. So FSD does a nice job offsetting and decides it wants to be in the left lane, which is fine by me. Just preparing for the upcoming turn. Nice smooth deceleration. Yeah, that YMCA route, when I first did it, I just did not think FSD 12 would have trouble with it, but yeah, apparently it does. Something for the Tesla AI team to take a look at. You see how solid the tentacle is most of the time? You can tell pretty clearly. It's just every single time that that happens, the tentacle is very fuzzy, and so it just must not be sure of the route. There must be some indication that it's not sure what it's seeing, or not sure that's the correct route or whatever, but it will be improved. Nice patient behavior with the traffic. I like that. Let's see. I want to. Yep. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I wanted to wait to take the gap. You know, not try to force its way in, which FSD did a good job and waited. Either of these two left lanes are good to be in for the upcoming turn. So FSD kind of picks the one with less cars in it, which is good. It's probably what I would have done as well as a human. I like the gap between us and the other car. And just as I was saying that, the car moved forward. It'd be interesting to see what FSD does. Seems like it's just sitting still. But I was saying, when the car was back, I actually liked that amount of gap. You know, it's not too close, not too far away. You know, you could be closer, but someone does something. So the car on our left, you see, they move forward. But it's interesting. This car moved forward, and we just kind of just hung out. So it's probably a little bit wider gap than normal. And you see the cars on the right are actually closing the gap, most likely in anticipation of the light ahead. But FSD is just hanging out here, chill, very content where it's at. With that, okay, we got a green light. FSD sees it, starts to close the gap right away, but it's a healthy distance. Like it. Now, I don't love it wasn't the worst, but we were just a little bit in that other lane, which humans do, but it wasn't ideal. Like, we didn't give the guy his full room to make his turn. Not enough to disengage the system or override it, but it needs to follow the lines a little better, just make a little bit wider turn, fully in our lane. So you see we're going straight. I believe this is going to be a 101 freeway exit or entrance only, so I'm looking for FSD to get over and decide on that fact. And it's not yet. It's not. Okay, so I'm gonna disengage and get over because the other car was gonna pick our gap. FSD was in the wrong lane to merge onto the freeway and was not getting over into its lane to continue straight. Okay, so yeah, that's another. I've never had it at that spot that I remember, but just in general, it seems to be hanging out in the wrong lane. Even when there's space to get over, even when there's space to get over and get in the correct lane, it just doesn't do it for whatever weird reason. So that's something I would like Tesla to fix. That's kind of a medium issue that really should be addressed, because that can lead to some issues, or blocking the lane like that. That would have been really annoying if I would have been blocking the entrance onto the freeway. And in this morning drive, it did the same thing. In the previous situation, we were just sitting there blocking entrance onto the freeway when they had their green arrow. So that situation is not ideal. That's one that'll get you honked at. That's one that's not being a courteous driver, and just it's kind of a dumb mistake. Every 3 times that I've seen it do that, like, you can clearly see that it's a right only lane. There's nobody. We were in the right lane, it decides to go into the wrong lane, and then there's a gap to get back, and it just doesn't do it. So kind of strange behavior. Hopefully Tesla AI team can fix that one. So here's this lane thing. Hopefully FSD doesn't get impatient on that lane. So that Audi on our right went into this lane, but most of the time when people get into this lane, they do it so they want to turn right. But, well, this person actually just wanted to go around. But most courteous drivers would that at least know the area anyways, would not get into that lane unless they're turning right, because they know it merges or goes right. But we're not going to be able to test the situation again because our lane is clear. So we're just hanging out in the correct lane here. Oh no. Okay. So there's nobody in our lane right now, but for zero reason, FSD decided to go over, and hopefully now it's going to go back. So I didn't need to disengage the system there, but only because there was nobody in our lane. I could see that FSD was going to correct itself, but it kind of just goes to show you that that was not the smartest move. Continue to have issues with that spot. Issues I would note that I've noted previously, the V11 did have issues with sometimes getting in the wrong lane, but I don't know, largely had been fixed, at least 3/4 of the time. Still gets impatient, but so that's a V11 issue, got worse in V12 and continued to be not great in V12. But that was a good right. So yeah, trip wrap up. I mean, I wish I could say that was a zero disengagement drive. Kind of knew ahead of time it wouldn't be because of that U-turn. So that was a disengagement. And then the second disengagement was there being in the wrong lane. We avoided a third disengagement, but that could have been a third disengagement because of the choice. Interesting enough, we had some wind and we're kind of going over some branches now. Nothing to pop the tires or anything, but yeah, we're at the end of our route. But short drive, 2 disengagement drive, nothing safety critical, but yep, room for improvement.